Well, hello friends. Before we start today's video, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been hanging out in the IRC channel and everyone who's been sending code and patches and stuff. That's really, really cool, and I'm super happy that you are working on the project with me. So thank you guys, and keep it coming. And of course, anyone who watches this video, you're very welcome to join us on IRC as well. We are in the Serenity OS channel on the Freenode network. Okay. So in today's video, I thought I would work a little bit on message boxes. So currently I have this message box. If you try to make a directory in the root directory called something whatever, it will fail because I don't have write permissions to this directory. And this message box is a bit boring, right? So what it really needs is like a nice little icon to indicate that this is an error, or this is some information, or this is a warning, or a question, or whatever, right? So I drew these three icons here, like error, information, and warning. And I thought that I would make those available to anyone who uses a GUI message box. So I figured we could be lazy now and use the Hello World app as a testing ground for this. So just so that we have something that we can start up quickly. So let's just keep it like that, and then we'll say G message box. So the way these currently work is that you create one, put some text in here, like this is the message, this is the window title. And then if you pass a parent to it, and the parent is a window, then the message box will be centered above that window. And message boxes are app modal, so as long as the message box is up, then you are not able to interact with the rest of the app, basically. So you create one like this, and then you run it like this. And it will return a result, you could call it. And for message box, the result is always OK, because there's only an OK button. But message box inherits from GDialog, and GDialog has a bunch of different ones. It has like OK, cancel, aborted. Probably I'll be adding more in the future, like yes and no or whatever. Because this is also inherited by input box, which allows you to ask for input from the user. But now we are just going to work on GMessage box, because what I would really like is to have some more convenient API, like this. This is the message, the window title, and it would be something like GMessage box information, and this would be the icon here, right? And yeah, maybe like that. I think that would be pretty good. And I mean, I don't want to have to call exec, but now that I think about it, or now that I see it rather, this would be basically what I want to do is just this, and then have a convenience helper that creates one and calls exec. So let's forget about that convenience helper and focus on this part. So let's add something here. We'll add in enum class, I guess icon or message type, just type. We'll have none, information, warning, and error. These will be the first ones that we have. Okay, and then we'll put that here, and it will default to none. Type, yeah, I can make it a bit bigger actually. Right, and then in the G message box thingy, we will now take this enum here, so type Save that in a member. And we are going to want to set this up a little bit differently. So how does this work currently? So what we currently do is we make a widget, and then we put a vertical layout in the widget and set some margins and spacing, and then we put a label first, fixed size label, and we also put a button, fixed size button on bottom. Yeah, okay. So I guess if we do have an icon, then we're going to do the layout a little bit differently. Let's see. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is a G dialog, right? So vertical is fine, this is fine, but the label is going to have to be together with something else optionally. So if mtype is not none, then let's say, hold on, let's first do this. So container, message container, and the default will be widget, and then we'll put the label into that one, because if there's no icon, then he can just go right in there. But otherwise, we might create a separate container within the widget to have a horizontal layout. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do a little bit of nested layouts here. Okay. Horizontal container is new G widget. Message container. I mean, actually, we can even we don't need a temporary for that. Set layout, make gbox layout. Okay, so then let's worry about the spacing and stuff later. Icon label is new G label. Message container. And set icon. Oh, wait, hold on. Set icon. So those icons, they were 32 by 32, right? Of course. So we'll just do something like icon label set size policy fixed, very, very fixed. And icon label set preferred size is 32 by 32. All right. And icon for type. Or we can even do like this actually, and we'll add a helper for it. Name per graphics bitmap icon const. Right. And that will do switch mtype, right? So I saved these icons in the root res icons 32 by 32, and then they're called like message box. Oh, this one's called ms box actually. So let's fix that. ms box warning.png. Okay. So we are going to load from file. Res icons 32 by 32. Message box information.png. Warning and error. And we'll have a default case here, but we just return null footer. Okay. yeah, let's have a look at what this would end up like. So this is in demo hello world. Did that even build? That didn't build. I was not editing the right file. Or I was editing the right file, but I didn't rebuild libgui. Let me just fix up init here. Just a second. Okay. Hello world. And did we forget to actually show the thing? No, we didn't. Oh, but we didn't rebuild it. Alright, me and my incremental rebuilds. Always confusing myself. Okay, come on now. This is the message, right? But I don't see the icon anywhere, so that doesn't look quite right. So what happened? mtype is presumably information. Oh shit. We are adding the label to the thing here. We need to add it to the message container, right? But I feel like I'm forgetting something else too. Okay. So the message container is a new widget. It will be the first entry in the vertical layout, and then the message container gets a horizontal layout to which an icon label is added. And what am I not realizing here? Okay, hold on. Let me just let me just make sure that this code is even running, because now I'm completely confused. Yeah, that didn't print anything. And the OK button is clicked and nothing happens. Okay. What is happening here? Why is this behaving this way? I am very confused. So, hold on, let's see. Return from box exec. Oh, jeez. Come on now. Okay, so we're calling done in the message box. Here, we do done, event loop quit. So we do event loop quit. Oh shit, I see what's going on here. So normally I write the code like this, and we return from the box.exec, and then the message box goes out of scope and gets destroyed. But in this case, it wouldn't do that because I didn't write it that way, so it would just stay on screen. So that's a funny issue. We should definitely fix that. but maybe not in this patch, but definitely after. So okay, so let's just wrap that in the scope for now, so that we can make progress here. Okay, so we're definitely also seeing adding the thingy. Set icon. So is it that I am screwing up these paths? I guess we can find that out. Hello world. Okay, and let's have a look in 32 message box. It's called info.png. See, I messed it up. What a silly problem. Okay, here we go. Wow, that doesn't look great by default, but the general idea is nice. So we definitely want this label here to take up all the remaining available space, I think, because this doesn't look right, but it would if it would be a bit centered. So let's make it centered. Label. Here's the label. So we set the size policy horizontal. The horizontal size policy should be fill instead. And then we can just not, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but we don't need a horizontal preferred size at that point. So okay, what am I not getting? I need to actually relink, right? Yeah, that's more like it. So now that label will look proper wherever it goes, but of course we're gonna need to have more space for it than this. So first up is we are gonna push the icon a little bit to the right by adding spacing to adding margins to the layout, horizontal layout. So message container layout set margins will be left. Let me see, 8, 0 top, right bottom. And we'll also say spacing to 8. So spacing is the distance between each of the widgets in the layout. So the minimum distance between the icon and the label is going to be 8, which will make sure that they don't squish up against each other. Like that, see? Okay. And I guess now we're just going to want to make it a bit bigger. So currently, this is where we set the size of the whole message box. We do text width plus 80 and the height 80. And I guess 80 is just some arbitrary height. So we can actually do setrect at the very end. And then let's see, add on icon width. And for this, we can say, well, I don't know, like 120 seems reasonable. Or how big is this now? Because this is a pretty good height. Oh, this is like 110. So 110 is a good height, I would say. Or 100 looks pretty good too. Let's go with 100. Okay, then say icon width 0, but if we do have an icon, then icon width is icon label icon width. Okay. Cool. Very, very cool. I like it. Now, of course, it's silly that you can resize this message box. I don't want you to be able to do that. So since this is a G dialog, which inherits from G window, we should just be able to call set resizable false. So let's do that. And at the very end here. Hello world. And now it can't be resized. It can be minimized, which maybe you shouldn't be able to, but you can't resize it, so that's cool. Yeah, and of course it's not modeled for the terminal because this belongs to the Hello World application. Okay, now let's try some of the other ones, just to make sure. Or heck, let's go straight to the file manager actually. So and nice up that one that we had there. So mkdir failed. We are gonna also put an error icon with that. You can see it in action right away. Okay, let's try to make a directory here. Hello. Very, very cool. Look at that. Isn't it just nice? See, it's above this one. I like it. Okay. Did we have more message boxes? I guess we have one here too. So, oh yeah, so we'll just type error for this one as well. And I guess those were the only ones that we had. So I haven't really been using message boxes a lot yet, but now that they look a bit nicer, it's going to want to make me use them a bit more. It's going to make me want to use them a bit more, right? So, is there anything else I would like to change about this? I guess this is pretty good this way. So let's look at the code. Very, very cool. Okay, let's do a patch review. So in message box usage, we are now adding this parameter. So you have to say what kind of message it is. That's cool. And then this here, I'm not going to commit because it's just a Hello World app. Here's another user, so he's also now passing the error code or type. Okay, so in gMessageBox, we now take a type, save it in mtype, and then this is where we figure out which icon to use based on the type. And then here's the meat and potatoes of the patch. So gMessageBox build icon width. So if we do have an icon, this will be filled in with the width of the icon to make sure that we make the window wide enough to accommodate the icon. All right, so if we have a type other than none, we create a new message container that will have a horizontal layout with 8 pixels of margin on the left and right side and 8 pixels of spacing between widgets. Then we add an icon label with a fixed size policy of 32 by 32, set the icon, and then save the icon width. And then, of course, the label will now go into message container, which may be the vertically layout widget or the horizontally layout widget, or laid out widget. And then finally we call setRect, including the icon width, and also we do the new height here to give a little more vertical space. Finally, we call set resizable false. Cool. And these are the types that we are adding originally. Maybe I'll add more later, but these will do for now. Here's just a new constructor signature and the icon helper and type. So since we are here anyway, we can do that convenience helper thingy that I wanted, because why not? So I wanted the code to look like this. So I'm going to give myself that thing. Gmessage box, static, I guess void, and nodes we show, and this thing will do. Box, text, title, type, parent. Box.exec. Okay. And then we can call gmessage box show. Cool. And then hello world, that would be the same here, so it would just be like that. So let's just try it once. Nice. Oh, I forgot to try the warning one, so let's do that one too. Cool. Very, very cool. Right, let's commit. But not demos. And we also have to add icons. Okay. What GUI? Or say gmessage box. Add icons to message boxes with 3 default ones, standard ones. Choose from. Cool. Very cool. Push. And run one more time because I want to see it one more time. Fantastic. All right. So I think this will be it for today's video. I'm pretty happy with it. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and for coming back. And I hope you saw something interesting here, and I'll see you next time.